Get up, you black woman! You're under suspicion just for being here! I didn't do anything! You are under arrest!
The body cam turns on at 5:41 a.m. Static. Wind noise. The dull orange glow of streetlights bleeding into a half-lit suburban road. The timestamp jitters for half a second before stabilizing. Camera audio. Unit 12 rolling. Visual on subject vehicle. The car in front is a faded silver Toyota Corolla. Nothing about it stands out. No damage. No erratic driving. No reason, on the surface, for what's about to happen. Inside that Corolla is Maria Alvarez, 32 years old. Registered nurse. Night shift rotation at St. Catherine's Medical Center. She's wearing navy scrubs, hair pulled into a tight bun, coffee cooling in the cup holder. Her badge hangs from the rearview mirror, turned slightly so it doesn't swing. She's tired. The kind of tired that sinks into your bones after 12-hour shifts and understaffed floors. Her eyes flick to the clock on the dash. 5:43 a.m. She exhales, adjusts the radio lower, and signals right. Habitual, precise. Nurses notice details. It's part of the job. Behind her, headlights flare. Red. Blue. She freezes for half a beat. Then she signals, slows, and pulls over cleanly to the curb. The body cam captures the officer stepping out of his SUV. His boots hit pavement with a sound that carries too far in the quiet morning. His name, according to the badge later identified in court documents, is Agent Daniel Rourke. Department of Homeland Security. ICE Enforcement and Removal Operations. At this moment, the camera doesn't show that. Just a uniform. A hand resting near his belt. A posture trained to project control. Maria watches him approach in her side mirror. She rolls the window down halfway. "Good morning, officer," she says. Calm. Polite. Slight accent she's learned never to exaggerate. Rourke doesn't answer immediately. He looks inside the car. Slow. Methodical. His gaze lingers on her face longer than necessary. "Rourke, turn the engine off." She blinks. Does it? Her hands return to the wheel. "Yes, sir." "Is there a problem?" The bodycam mic picks up a faint sigh. Rourke, license and registration. She reaches for her bag carefully, narrating her movements without thinking, muscle memory drilled into her since nursing school safety trainings. "My ID is in my purse. Registration is in the glove box." She hands over her driver's license. State issued. Valid. No flags. Rourke takes it, but doesn't look down. Instead, he asks, "Rourke, where are you headed this morning?" "Work. I'm a nurse at St. Catherine's. My shift starts at 6. She gestures lightly toward the hospital badge. The camera captures the moment his eyes flick to it. And then, just as quickly, away. "Rourke, step out of the vehicle." The words land wrong. Not shouted. Not aggressive. Just final. Maria hesitates. A fraction of a second. "Enough. Is there something wrong?" she asks. "I didn't speed." Rourke, step out of the vehicle. Her pulse spikes. The body cam picks up her breathing before she notices it herself. She opens the door. Cold air rushes in. As she steps onto the pavement, the camera angle shifts. We see her fully now, scrubs, hospital shoes, tired eyes, hands already raised slightly without being told. That detail will matter later. Rourke positions her near the hood of her own car. "Rourke, do you have anything on you? Weapons? Knives?" "No, just my phone and keys." "Rourke, place them on the hood." She does. Metal clinks softly. The street is empty. No witnesses. No traffic. Just a quiet neighborhood waking up. Rourke keys his radio. "Rourke, dispatch, confirms status." There's a pause. Static. Maria swallows. "Officer," she says carefully, "am I being detained?" The body cam catches the shift in his jaw. "Rourke, you'll know in a minute." That's the first moment fear truly sets in. Not panic. Not hysteria. Fear. Because people who have nothing to hide don't say that. And people who have everything to lose hear it very clearly. Dispatch crackles back. "Dispatch. Radio, Unit 12, confirm. Subject flagged. Proceed." The word flagged hangs in the air. Maria's brow furrows. Flagged for what? Rourke steps closer. Too close. "Rourke, what's your country of birth?" There it is. Her throat tightens. "I'm a permanent resident," she says. I've been one for 12 years. I have papers. Rourke, that's not what I asked. The bodycam captures her eyes briefly closing. Mexico, she says. Rourke nods once, like he already knew. Rourke, turn around. Hands behind your back. Her voice cracks for the first time. Officer, please, I'm late for my shift. Patients are waiting. I've never. Rourke, hands. Behind. Your back. The cuffs come out. Metallic. Clinical. The camera records the click. Maria gasps, not from pain, but shock. I didn't do anything, she says. Please check my file. Please call my hospital. Rourke doesn't respond. He guides her toward the SUV. The bodycam tilts as he opens the back door. She looks once, just once, at her car. Her coffee still steaming. Her badge still swinging. Maria, can I call my supervisor? Rourke pauses. The pause is important. Because later, lawyers will argue that this was the moment he could have stopped. He didn't. Rourke, you should have thought about that earlier. The door shuts. The camera captures her through the glass for a brief second. Eyes wide, breathing shallow, disbelief etched into every line of her face. Then the door slams. Darkness. Only audio remains. Her voice, muffled, shaking. I'm a nurse, she says again. Like saying it enough times will make it matter. The engine starts, and the vehicle pulls away. The back of the SUV smells like disinfectant and old vinyl. Maria shifts against the molded plastic seat, wrists already aching from the cuffs. They're too tight, not crushing, but deliberate. The kind of tight that reminds you who's in control. The engine hums steadily as the vehicle rolls through quiet streets. The sun is just beginning to creep over rooftops, turning the sky a pale, indifferent gray. She tries to steady her breathing. Inhale 4. Hold 4. Exhale 6. A trick she teaches patients in triage when panic spikes their vitals. It barely works on herself. Up front, Rourke drives in silence. The bodycam catches his reflection in the rearview mirror. Jaw set, eyes forward. No hesitation. No curiosity. Just procedure. Maria leans forward as much as the cuffs allow. Agent. Officer, please, she says. There's been a mistake. I renew my green card every time. I pass my background checks. I work in a hospital. You can verify all of it. Rourke doesn't answer. The tires crunch over gravel as they pull into a fenced lot behind a low concrete building. No signage from the street. Just a DHS emblem half hidden near the entrance. The gate slides shut behind them. Only then does he speak. Rourke, you're not under arrest. Her heart jumps. Then why am I cuffed? Rourke, you're being detained for administrative processing. Administrative. A word that sounds clean. Bloodless. She's escorted inside. The building is cold, fluorescent lights buzzing overhead. A holding area with plastic chairs bolted to the floor. 2 other people sit there, both men, both silent, eyes fixed on nothing. Rourke guides her to a chair. Sit. She does. He removes the cuffs, not gently. Her wrists burn. Rourke, do not leave this seat. She rubs her hands, flexing her fingers, trying to bring feeling back. Can I make a call now? He hesitates again. Then, after intake. Intake takes longer than she expects. They fingerprint her, photograph her, ask the same questions she's answered on forms for years. Name, date of birth, place of birth, alien registration number. She recites it from memory. She's had to. At one point, a younger agent, no older than 25, glances at her paperwork and frowns. Sir, he says quietly to Rourke. Her status shows valid. Rourke doesn't even look. Rourke, secondary review. The younger agent nods, uncomfortable. He types something anyway. Maria catches the look. The almost apology in his eyes. Please, she says to him. I'm supposed to be on the floor in 20 minutes. They're short-staffed. My patients. He looks away. The hours start to blur. Her phone sits on a counter across the room, screen lighting up repeatedly. Missed call. St. Catherine's Medical Center missed call. Supervisor, Linda. She watches it like a life raft drifting just out of reach. By 8:12 a.m., her shift has officially started. At the hospital, Linda Torres is already stressed. 2 nurses called out. One didn't show up at all. That's not like Maria, she mutters, dialing again. Voicemail. By 9:30, patients are waiting longer. A post-op man complains of chest tightness. A diabetic woman's blood sugar crashes. Linda assigns another nurse to cover, but they're stretched thin. This is unsafe, she says to the charge nurse. Back at the ICU facility, Maria finally snaps. I want a lawyer, she says, voice hoarse. Now. Rourke looks up from his tablet. Rourke, this isn't a criminal matter. I don't care, she says. I want one. He exhales through his nose. Rourke, you can request legal counsel once processing is complete. When will that be? Rourke, when it's done. Her stomach drops. She realizes then that time doesn't mean the same thing in this room. Around noon, another agent enters. Older. Supervisor Energy. He reviews her file slowly. Ms. Alvarez, he says finally. There's an issue with a prior address on record. She leans forward. That address was updated years ago. I submitted the form myself. He nods. That's what you say. She stares at him. I have proof. Documents. Tax records. Employment verification. Hospital ID. He sets the file down. You're going to be transferred to a regional holding center until this is resolved. The words hit like a punch. Transferred? For how long? He shrugs. Could be hours. Could be days. Her vision blurs. I can't disappear for days, she says. My job. Supervisor. That's not our concern. At 1:47 p.m., the bodycam captures her being cuffed again. This time, she doesn't protest. She's escorted back outside. Sunlight hurts her eyes. As they load her into a transport van, a neighbor drives past slowly, staring. Humiliation settles in deep. She thinks of her patients, of the elderly man who jokes with her every morning, of the new mother who cried into her shoulder the night before. She thinks of how easily she's been erased from her own life. The van doors slam shut. Darkness again. But this time, she's crying. Not loudly. Not dramatically. Just tears sliding down her face as the vehicle pulls away. Unseen. Unheard. Uncounted. The holding center is nothing like the building she was taken from. This place is louder. Brighter. Colder in a way that isn't just temperature. The transport van stops with a jolt. Doors open. Orders barked. Maria steps down onto concrete. Ankles stiff. Wrists cuffed again. A chain connects 3 women together. None of them look at each other. Eye contact feels dangerous here. Inside, fluorescent lights buzz relentlessly. The air smells of bleach and stale sweat. A digital clock above intake reads 3:09 p.m. Time is still moving. Her life outside is not. They take her shoelaces, her badge, her watch. When she hesitates handing over the hospital ID, the guard snaps. Guard, it's just plastic. She almost laughs. Almost. Processing drags on. A different officer now. No name given. Just a uniform and a clipboard. Medical conditions, he asks without looking up. I'm a nurse, she says automatically. I don't. Officer, answer the question. No, she says quietly. She's assigned a bunk in a women's dormitory. 20 beds, metal frames, thin mats. The room hums with low murmurs, coughing, crying. A woman near the far wall rocks back and forth, whispering prayers under her breath. Maria sits on the edge of her bunk, hands clasped, staring at the floor. She tells herself this is temporary. She has documents. She has a job. She belongs. That belief will start to fracture before nightfall. At St. Catherine's, Linda finally escalates. This isn't normal, she tells HR. She never no-shows. Ever. HR pulls Maria's file. Work authorization verified. Background checks clear. Employment spotless. By 4:30 p.m., Linda files a missing employee report. Not official police, but enough to get attention. At 6:12 p.m., Maria is called for review. She's led into a small interview room. No camera this time. Just a table bolted to the floor. Across from her sits Rourke again. Her chest tightens. You again, she says. He doesn't rise to it. Rourke, we received confirmation from DHS systems. She straightens. And, Rourke, there's a discrepancy tied to your initial entry record. Her hands tremble. That was over a decade ago. I was a minor. My status was adjusted. He slides a document across the table. Black and white. Grainy. Old. A misspelled surname. A wrong digit in a case number. This is clerical, she says. You know that. Rourke's face remains unreadable. Rourke, clerical errors still trigger enforcement. So fix it. Rourke, not my department. She stares at him. Do you understand what you're doing? She asks. People rely on me. Patients. Families. He leans back. Rourke, I understand my job. Silence stretches. Then she asks the question that's been burning since dawn. Why me? For the first time, he hesitates. Just a fraction. Rourke, you match the profile. Her laugh is sharp, bitter. Profile, she repeats. Say it plainly. He doesn't. The interview ends without resolution. She's escorted back to the dorm. Dinner is a plastic tray. Overcooked rice, something gray pretending to be meat. She eats mechanically. Nurses know the danger of not eating. Even here. That night, sleep won't come. The lights never fully turn off. Just dim. A woman 2 bunks down sobs into her pillow. Maria lies on her back, staring at the ceiling, replaying every decision of the last 12 years. Every form, every renewal, every rule followed. She's done everything right. At 2:17 a.m., her name echoes through the dorm. She jolts upright. Alvarez. Intake. Her heart pounds. She's escorted, again, down the hall. This time, there's a phone on the desk. You have one call, the guard says. Her hands shake as she dials from memory. Linda answers on the second ring. Maria? Her voice breaks. Where have you been? I've been detained, Maria says. Saying it out loud makes it real. By ICE. What? That's impossible. I need a lawyer, Maria says. Please. I need help. Linda doesn't hesitate. I'm calling the hospital's legal team. You're not alone. Do you hear me? Tears spill freely now. Yes, Maria whispers. Thank you. The call ends too soon. But something has shifted. At 8:06 a.m., the next morning, an attorney contacts the facility. At 9:14 a.m., Rourke is notified. His jaw tightens as he reads the alert. By 11:30 a.m., things start moving fast. Too fast. Because when systems realize a mistake might cost money, headlines, or careers, urgency suddenly appears. And Maria is no longer invisible. The tone changes the moment lawyers get involved. Maria feels it before anyone tells her. Guards stop barking orders. Clipboards get checked twice. Doors open a little slower, close a little quieter. At 11:47 a.m., she's escorted, not cuffed this time, into a different room. Cleaner. Smaller. A DHS seal on the wall. 2 men wait inside. One is Rourke. The other introduces himself as Assistant Chief Morales. Ms. Alvarez, Morales says, measured and professional. We're reviewing your case. Maria doesn't sit until told. She's learned. My attorney requested my release, she says. Morales nods. We're aware. Rourke stands near the wall, arms crossed. Silent. Morales slides a stack of papers across the table. There appears to be a discrepancy in your A file, he says. Specifically, a digit error from an intake record created years ago. Maria stares at him. That's what I said yesterday. Yes, Morales replies. However, secondary systems flagged it as unresolved. Because no one fixed it, she says flatly. Morales exhales. The system isn't perfect. That's not my problem, she says. Her voice is steady now. Clinical. The way she speaks to surgeons who try to dodge responsibility. Morales glances at Rourke. Rourke doesn't move. Why was I detained on my way to work? Maria asks. Why not verify first? Morales pauses. Field discretion, he says carefully. She turns to Rourke. You had my ID. My badge. You could have checked. Rourke meets her eyes for the first time since yesterday. Rourke, you fit the criteria. There it is again, she says. Explain it. Silence. Morales clears his throat. Ms. Alvarez, we're working toward a resolution. Your attorney has provided documentation confirming your lawful status. How soon? She asks. Morales checks his watch. Today. Her shoulders sag. Relief crashes into exhaustion. But relief doesn't erase what's already happened. At St. Catherine's, the legal department is furious. This is unlawful detention. The hospital's counsel says over speakerphone. She's a licensed healthcare worker. You disrupted patient care. ICE responds with policy language. Administrative authority. No wrongdoing admitted. By 3:22 p.m., a release order is drafted. By 4:01 p.m., Maria is told to pack her things, which takes 30 seconds. She never unpacked them. As she's escorted out, she passes the dorm again. The women inside watch her go. No one smiles. No one claps. They just stare. Outside, the sun is blinding. Her phone is returned. 17 missed calls. 12 messages. 3 voicemails marked urgent. Rourke stands by the exit. Ms. Alvarez, he says. She stops. This was procedural, he adds. Nothing personal. She turns slowly. I lost 2 days of my life, she says. My patients lost care. My family thought I vanished. He says nothing. You should think about what procedural really means, she finishes. She walks past him. Linda is waiting in the parking lot. The hug is tight. Wordless. Necessary. You're coming home, Linda says. Maria nods. But she already knows something important. Home doesn't feel the same anymore. That night, she doesn't sleep. News breaks quietly the next morning. Local nurse detained by ICE before shift, released after legal review. No names at first. Then someone leaks the body cam. By noon, it's everywhere. And the country finally sees what Maria lived through. The body cam footage spreads faster than anyone anticipates. Not because it's explosive, but because it's mundane. No shouting. No chase. No resistance. Just a woman in scrubs, standing on a quiet street at dawn, being told to get out of her car. That's what unsettles people. Cable news plays the clip on loop. Commentators pause the frame where her badge swings from the mirror. Legal analysts rewind the moment Rourke says, "You fit the criteria." Hospitals across the state recognize the uniform. Nurses recognize the posture. Patients recognize the fear. By day 3, Maria Alvarez's name is public. She doesn't give interviews at first. She returns to work instead. Her first shift back is silent. Colleagues hug her carefully, like she's fragile. Patients ask if she's okay. One elderly man grips her hand and says, "Don't let them scare you away." She smiles. But she is scared. Not of ICE. Of how easy it was. The internal review is announced the following week. ICE releases a statement filled with familiar language. Procedures followed, no policy violations, regret for inconvenience. Inconvenience, Maria repeats when she reads it. Her attorney advises restraint. Let the process work. But the process already did work, just not for her. Then something unexpected happens. A junior agent, the same one who questioned her status on day 1, contacts her lawyer. Off the record. Shaking. Willing to testify. He brings screenshots. Internal messages. A quiet directive circulated weeks earlier. Increase administrative stops tied to unresolved legacy records. No warrants. No verification first. Just numbers. That changes everything. Within a month, the investigation widens. Congressional inquiries follow. Rourke is placed on administrative leave. Not fired, not charged, just removed from the field. He never contacts her again. Maria is offered a settlement. She refuses it. "I don't want money," she says. "I want it on record." So they negotiate. Policy revisions. Mandatory verification before roadside detention. Special protections for healthcare workers during active shifts. Small changes. Late changes. But real. On a cool morning not unlike the one where it began, Maria parks in the same spot near the hospital. Same Corolla. Same badge. She sits for a moment before getting out. Breathes. Then she steps onto the sidewalk. Free, documented, visible. Not because the system suddenly became just, but because someone caught it on camera. And because she didn't disappear quietly. The final frame of the body cam, now archived, analyzed, and replayed nationwide, freezes on her face as she says, "I'm a nurse." This time, people listen. Before you click away, pause for 1 second. What you just watched wasn't chaos. It wasn't violence. It was quiet power being used without hesitation. A nurse, in uniform, on her way to work, stopped, questioned, and detained, not because of what she did, but because of who she was. Now here's the real question, and don't dodge it. If the body cam wasn't rolling, would anyone have believed her? If this story hit you, do 3 things right now. Like this video so it reaches people who need to see it. Share it, because silence protects the wrong side. Subscribe if you want more real body cam stories that don't cut away when it gets uncomfortable. And I want your honest take in the comments. Was this lawful enforcement, or a line that should never have been crossed?